Good evening, lovely tubers. White Mexican back for another deck profile, deck update. This is going to be for my Kashtira build. Went to a local tournament today, Sunday tournament, 25 players. I was able to get into top 8, so there was 5 initial rounds. Went X1, won 4 out of the 5 rounds, got to top 8. Won my top 8 match, and then we ended up just splitting because it was several hours of a lot of gameplay, a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, and ended up making top 4, and then we split. It was 25 bones store credit. We get these little cutesy little vouchers here for 25 bones, so that was topping getting top 4. And then, of course, we get 1 OTS for entry. Really quick, I'm going to go over the main deck monster lineup. We have 1 Gorsemoner, 1 Scareclaw, no Ogre this time. I cut Ogre in preparations. I'll kind of get over that and go over that in a little bit, but it is cut for this particular build. So triple Ash, triple Bird, 3 Veiler, 3 Fenrir, 3 Unicorn, and of course 3 Rise Heart. That's all for the main deck monsters. Getting into the magic cards for the main lineup. 1 Called By, 1 Terraforming, 3 Pot, 3 Planet, 3 Theosis, and 3 Birth. For the main board traps, triple Imperm, 1 Floodgate, 1 of each Floodgate, 1 Summon Limit, 1 Rivalry, and 1 Skill Drain. For the main deck, MVP of the day definitely was the Heat Soul engine. This is one of the first time I've implemented the Heat Soul engine, and it's very, very good because it can either bait out the Nibiru, and if it doesn't bait out the Nibiru, it kind of forces them to use it at a weird time, but if it doesn't, it is really, really good recursion with the draw effect, and then it's also a really good way for you to bust out to an Apollousa, so you can defend your place to continue to summon past that 5th summon if they don't nib you before you hit the Heat Soul line. So, of course, as you guys probably are familiar, it's 1 Heat Soul, 1 G-Golem, 2 Link Spider, and 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Draco Sack. That's the line right there. Pretty really good. 1 SP, of course, the 1 Apo for cover. 1 Typhon, 1 Zeus, 1 number 11 Big Eye, 1 Red Eyes Metal Flare Dragon, 1 Dark Arm, 2 Shang, and 1 Baron. For the side deck, we have triple Lava Golem, triple DD Crow, triple Ghost, Ghost Bell, triple Evenly Matched, and triple Dimensional Barrier. That is all for the deck. Again, initial 5 rounds, won 4 out of 5. My only loss was to Branded. Really quick, I'll do the rundown of the rounds. So round 1, that was against Vanadium. That was 3 games. I won that match. Round 2 was against Pearly. That was 3 games. I won that match. Round 3 was against Branded. That was 2 games, and that was my only loss the whole entire event. Round 4 was against a Trickstar Burn deck. That was 2 games. I won that flat out. Round 5 was against a Fire King Snake Eye build. That was 2 games, and I won that flat out. Went into top 8 and played a very good Infernoble player. That was probably the toughest matchup in my personal opinion, besides the branded round. And that was 3 games, and I ended up winning it right towards the end. And that's what knocked me from top 8 to top 4. And then we did a 4-way split, which was really, really cool. Again, really quick, some key changes, as you guys probably are aware if you're familiar with my videos. No removal. This is not running Shifter. It's not running Dimensional Fisher. It's not running Macrocosmos. There's absolutely no removal in this. Kind of high risk, high reward, but really, really good because one line again. So one thing that's really specifically why I took out the removal stuff. The very first thing, like starting with Shifter, is Shifter you have to open it, and Shifter super, super blow if you open it, but more likely than not, you're not going to open it turn 1. And I really hate it being a dead card after that, because once you start using your effects and dumping cards in your graveyard, it's a dead card. It's a 3-card brick. So that was one main reason why I took out Shifter. The second major reason why I took off Shifter, obviously, this is a lot more link-based, as you can see here, and it does have the Heat Soul engine. Now, if you're under Shifter, at least specifically with my build, because I don't run IP or any other Cybers monster, you cannot get to the Heat Soul line because your Link Spiders are going to be removed from play if you're under Shifter. So that was one of the main reasons why the shifter had to go, because you need the link spitters to hit the grave so you can bring out the heat soul and proc off with the heat soul engine. So that was one thing. Those are two main reasons. Another thing was it's really nice to have Fisher because it stops effect failure is really popular in the format. Droll and Lockboard is really popular in the format, but there's a lot of spot removal cards, and those only can like hold off the Snake Eye deck for so long. I think hand traps have a little bit more recursion and can kind of have a little bit more longevity, especially with Shifter, because Shifter only turns off the graveyard for potentially 2 turns. And yeah, there's not really a lot that can stop it, but again, they're just going to pass, and they're pretty, you know, resourceful, and they can come back, and they can, their power level is their ceiling is a lot higher than Kashtira. Kashtira is a little bit weaker from that standpoint. They can kind of do a lot more with less, so that's another reason why I shifted from the removal aspects more so to the hand traps. And again, I was cutting some of the removal, cutting some of the fluff, and going for more hand trap orientation. As you can see, a lot of hand traps in this, and a lot of them are graveyard orientated, like the triple Veiler. Those need to hit the graveyard. Your triple Droll, those need to hit the graveyard. The Ashes don't, and the Ghost Mortar also do not, but there's just a lot more recursion. And again, if you specifically look at the side deck as well, like the Crows have to hit the graveyard. That's really the only side deck that has to grip the graveyard, and this other Bell. But there's just a lot more. There's just a lot more you can do personally, and it just worked out very, very well. As you can see, kind of the proof is in the pudding. The numbers were in my favor today, and I think moving forward, like, I really do enjoy kind of playing it more, kind of playing less of the floodgates, specifically for the removal. Obviously, I have these floodgates, which I have in the main, because pretty much if you win the dice roll, I mean, these carry you so much. A lot of people don't have spot removal for game 1. You have to be a little bit more resourceful and tactical in game 2 and 3. But if you're going first and you open just one of these, it's pretty nutty. As you guys are probably well aware, all of your monsters besides Rise Heart are psychic. Even your Shangira, you can go into a Shangira play because it's psychic as well. That's not good against every deck, but for some matchups, this is pretty much like game over. It's super good. It's really restrictive. I absolutely love it. I was running multiple copies of these in the side before. I think just 1/1/1. They all have their soul and purpose. They all are super blowout. And really, for most decks, if you just get one of the 3, it's just pretty impactful, and it hurts your opponent a lot. Again, I consider this a hand trap. It's really like you're doubling up on your Veilers. So essentially, you have 6 effect Veilers, which is insane, just cutting off effects. Obviously, this is generic. This is super good against the branded players. You know, they're very resourceful, so sometimes they can jump around it with a trap and stuff. Vanadium, Flu. There's a lot of different cards. You know that this is kind of like hit or miss, but when it hits, it's really good. So I think it's like main deck worthy. It worked out for me personally, and then of course, it just makes essentially your 7th effect Veiler. But you got to be careful because it only has to be on the summon, and it has to be a special summon. So just be aware of that. Really good though. Really good. The hand traps did me very well with the support of the 3 floodgates in the main. With the hand traps, it just really carried me a lot. And then of course, you know, the Kashtira core itself is just so recursive and just amazing. I mean, this engine right here is just insane. And then of course, 3-pot really gets you into like the onesie-twosie cards that you need to really just go off. And then again, I really did not miss the Ogre. I mean, sometimes Ogre makes it easier to OTK if your opponent passes, and you can just, you know, hit him for full damage. It's a lot easier to kill him in 1 turn. With the Ogre, it's another name and another body in the deck. However, I think that this is just so much more better than Ogre. This can turn off bodies. This thing can attack defense. You can proc it out with Theosis. You can remove one from the graveyard and get recursion for potentially from Theosis. It's super good. Really, this is like your engine. This is all you really need. I really wouldn't recommend taking out any of these. Obviously, you can play 3 and 3. Some people can, you know, take these out, take one out for game 2 or game 3, depending if you're going second or whatever. But this is the powerhouse right here. This is support. And really, again, with all the hand traps and all the power magic cards that you have with the 3 floodgates, it's just really insane. It's pretty good. Really good synergy. I didn't really feel like, maybe there was like 1 game out of like all the matches, out of all 6 matches I played, there's maybe like 1-2 games where I felt like I really kind of bricked hard and just really was not good and super lackluster. Other than that, the 40 card main was super great. And again, having this graveyard manipulation potentially to side in this for, you know, synchro builds, for fusion builds. This is mostly against like anti-synchro, anti-fusion. Didn't play any voiceless today, so maybe it would have been a little bit different because, you know, they ritual, and I usually have a pretty hard time, hard matchup against voiceless, but it just worked out very, very well. And again, the King of Kings going second, triple evenly, and triple lava golem clear boards, and just really opened up a lot of opportunities in those game 2s and 3s potentially. So really, really great. I'm going to stop talking. I probably talked a little bit too much, but I wanted to kind of explain the method behind the madness for that specific build, and I was very, very happy and proud that I was able to perform very, very well, because the Sunday tournaments is our most competitive, objectively tournament that we have here in Syracuse. Again, so top 4, 25 bones, store credit. We got 1 OTS. We'll go ahead and proc this open for you guys. And then I have something super special that I'm really excited to showcase for you guys right after this. We did get a Pearly card, which is, you know, lackluster, but it is what it is. We still did super well and got that 25 bones credit. So the next thing I wanted to showcase for you guys is going to be this goated Gemtech deck box. I got this off of eBay from a business called Nightfall Games. This is them. Shout out to them. Super great deal. Really, really great price. They have a couple left of these. I did buy 3 of these just because as soon as I saw this deck box, I completely fell in love with it. I was not familiar with this brand by any means. I had a couple local players who rock this brand, and they said it's good quality and it lasts forever, and they look really, really cool. And I'm just, you know, if you guys have been, you know, watching my channel for a while now, I'm an avid Gen 1 player. You know, obviously this is themed off the GOAT format, which I believe was in like 2005 or something like that. I wasn't playing at the time. I played from 2002 to about early to late 2004, so it was right before GOAT format was a thing. However, I'm an avid banned card collector. I love Forbidden Banned cards, and I'm just super, super excited to get my hands on this deck box. This is, again, of course, my first product by them. Really, really love specifically the reason why I fell in love. It's not really so much, I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about this brand, but I really don't know. Again, this is my first deck box, my first real, like, kind of quote-unquote custom deck box here. You know, we have this magnetized right here. Holds a lot of cards. This artwork is super cool. I like this. It's just like nice little, you know, it's the artwork, Delinquent Duel, Pot of Greed, really, really cool. They are manufactured in China, which is a little, you know, a little worrying, but they, again, I've had buddies who've had them for years, and they said they don't rip, they don't tear, they're pretty sturdy, they're pretty strong, you know, relatively good quality here. And the most important thing was with my old deck box, this one, I've been using this one for years. I couldn't fit everything, so I normally only rock 40 card mains. Then you got your 15 side, you got your 15 extra deck, and then, you know, if you're playing Cashtera, potentially you got your zone locks, whatever you're using for zone locks. And then, you know, you also want your dice and all that. So I wanted something that was going to really, like, fit comfortably and have plenty of space. I'm really into, like, autumn and October and stuff, so this, like, autumn orange, October orange was super, super cool. The outside is pretty basic, you know, it just has, you know, the goat face, which is, you know, kind of like, that's fine, whatever. The biggest thing was I really like the color orange because it reminded me of October. And again, this artwork is super awesome, and this has enough space to fit everything. I think it's like, what are the statistics here? It holds up to 100 double sleeve trading cards, and that could be standard cards. So Pokemon Magic, obviously we play Yu-Gi-Oh here on this channel, so a little bit smaller here, maybe could fit a little bit more. But with 100 plus essentially, or 100 double sleeve, that's more than enough to fit everything you need in here. Main, side, depending on, you know, how big your main. I mean, there's a difference between running 40 and 60 main, but it's got this little divider here, goat divider, and then of course, you know, one of the more important things was this dice thing here. So this was something that I needed to have. People are bums, they never bring dice, so it's really, really critical that I always have dice because some people need to borrow some, you know, which is completely fine. I got the dice hookup, and, you know, you always need to have dice in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is some kind of magnet. I think there's some magnet on the bottom of this, so it, like, keeps it upright. So it's super cool. So, well, we're going to do a field test here. So we have our 40 card main. So I guess I'm assuming that this probably goes, I don't think it really matters. Okay, so 40 card main, and then we'll do our divider, and then we'll have our side deck, which is 15, of course, and then we'll have our extra deck, and then why not right here in the middle. Well, actually, we'll just go ahead and put our zone locks, our 10 zone locks right here on top of the extra deck. And that fits like perfectly fine. So like average player is going to run 40 card mains. This is, 10 extra, and the extra deck and the 10 zone locks are double sleeves, so plenty of room. You can see here I can move this like back and forth, and not too shaky, but plenty of room. Nice flex, not going to damage your cards or anything like that. So overall, really, really satisfied with it. It's really, really cool. I believe that they make sleeves as well. This company makes sleeves, and they make some of the same styled sleeves, which is really cool. One of the players here locally has the sleeves, and I thought they were super cool. And when I found out that there was a deck box based off of it, it was really, really awesome. So first time getting this, really excited, super happy to have it. Seems to be a pretty good product. Again, I was a little greed, went with the pot of greed themed style here and got trip set. Really, really cool. Really just wanted to keep these sealed again because this is super old. I think this is, I don't know, maybe like a 2022, 2021 model. I'm not sure. It's a couple years old, but again, you can get it on eBay if you want. Nightfall Games, they have a couple left. I know I didn't cop all of them. I did cop 3, but definitely not all of them. So it is available if you guys are interested. It's a couple years old now, so it's definitely out of that that initial kind of stage, when it first came out. So really, really cool stuff. So really happy to showcase the goated deck box by Gemtech, or yeah, Gemtech. I always get this thing confused. Anyway, this stuff right here. So really, really cool. Also, last thing I wanted to tell you guys is, so I switched sleeves. A lot of the guys here in New York are into Dragon Shield. I've heard a lot of good things about Dragon Shield, and these specifically are like this. I really like the color on this, and I actually have them here on my main deck here, and it's almost like, it's kind of hard to see on the camera. I probably won't be able to see it. There's almost like silvery sparkles to this specific black, whatever this one's called, this jet matte black one. It's really nice. I really like the texture. They seem to be strong enough. I've had these for about a month now, and I've had the same pack that I've been using. This is obviously a brand new pack, but my first pack, it's been working fine. No splits, no tears, nothing crazy like that. Haven't gotten super dirty or anything like that. So I think moving forward, I think I did a test run. I bought 3 boxes of these, and I've only used 1 box before. I got the 2 other ones sealed. I think it's a lot more affordable to go on the site and buy in bulk. I think I'm feeling comfortable now. I used to use Ultra Pro, Black Standard Ultra Pro. But now I think I do appreciate these, and kind of like, the artwork and style, and, like each specific type of sleeve has its own dragon and lore and all that. It's really cool. And also, if you make an account online, you can also get points towards discounts or store credit or whatever it is every time you buy something. They call it like Dragon Dust or something, which I think is super, super cool and creative. I love all that theme stuff. So that is all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are having a fantastic night. This has been a showcasing by Autumn Solar. My name is the White Mexican, and I will see you in the next video.